Hello Canada! With the holiday season behind us, we can finally relax and enjoy the company of those who aren't going to boss us around in the kitchen. Today, I'm glad to have my friend Spencer here for lunch. And Spencer, didn't you just finish your apprenticeship with Ravine Winery?
I sure did.
How did it go?
It went wonderfully. I worked in production, so there's a lot of sorting grapes, pressing grapes, and cleaning.
Oh, isn't that lovely working amongst the grapes?
I know everybody thinks it's romantic, like we're waltzing through the vineyards all the time, but really, it couldn't be further from that. I mean, most of the days we spend covered in grape guts, and sometimes we have to do dangerous jobs as well, like tottering on the brink of wooden vats while we're punching down the must. If you happen to fall in, that'll be the end of you.
Wow, I had no idea you were putting your life on the line. I'm glad you survived, and there's no better way to celebrate than with this delicious beef stew marinated the night before with red wine and Wildly's beef stew sauce. Here, try it.
Very flavorful. Thank you, Gabby.
You're welcome.
And in return for your hospitality, I brought you this Merlot from Ravine.
Oh, you don't have to. I've got a bottle of Côte du Rhône right in the
The
cabinet.
Merlot will go better with the stew, trust me.
All right.
This is a $35 bottle of wine, which may seem expensive, but it's worth every penny. At Ravine, estate wines like this Merlot go through the royal treatment. The grapes are grown organically and biodynamically, which means that instead of using chemical sprays, we actually use a tea spray for the vines. The grapes actually undergo wild fermentation, so instead of using cultured yeast, the grapes actually ferment themselves. While this is a more risky way of making wine, if it works, the wine is even better in the end. So as somebody who's had a taste of how much love, effort, and work goes into making this wine, I believe this is a bottle that should be in everybody's cellar.
Okay, you sound like you know what you're talking about, but isn't Merlot inferior compared to other reds?
Not necessarily. Just because Merlot has less tannins and a softer mouthfeel doesn't mean it can't make a great wine. Besides, what makes a wine great depends mostly on the food that it's being paired with. In our case, we have a hearty dish with earthy flavors and a soothing texture. And I mean, what can go with that better? What has a closer kinship to that than a smooth, characterful Ontario Merlot? Well, I'm just going to open this up for you.
I'm getting a lot of black currant with spice. You're right. From flavor down to texture, everything merges perfectly. So why do people hate Merlot?
I think it's because of the movie Sideways, which is becoming old and irrelevant in wine drinking terms. I mean, whether or not you like a wine is up to you. Why let yourself be influenced by the opinion of a fictional character?
Probably because people don't like to think for themselves anymore. I mean, we just jump on the bandwagon and mimic what everybody else is doing. It's sad how Merlot's reputation should suffer because of that. You know what? Next time if I hear bad talk of Merlot, I'm going to counter using exactly your argument.
I'll cheers to that.
Thank you for watching Gabby's WineQuest, where my mission is to uncork the secrets of good life with the help of my peers from the wine industry, of course. Please subscribe if you wish to learn more about wine, how they're made, and what to pair with, so you can patronize your friends at the dinner table. Speaking of which, Spencer, I'm hosting an Oscar party. Wanna come?
Does it involve you being patronizing?
You know I'm too down to earth for that.
Sure.
Excellent.
So they only use minimal filtration in the wines to keep as much flavor as possible. And instead of stainless steel, they actually use open top oak barrels to ferment the wines. How often do you see that?
Not a lot, I guess.